Hi. Any people that are watching today's podcast, it's going to be a real weird one. I promise. Let me just make sure everything's up and running. I will be with you in a second. Okay, that's working. Almost ready. Just give me a couple more minutes. Okay. For some reason, the embed isn't showing up on GoNintendo. Like, I know it's there, but for me, I can't see it. But I can see that you guys are watching. Let's see if that made a difference. Well, I don't know what the problem is. Of course. I mean, you know, I'm doing a show from somewhere different, so it's going to give me problems. Let me just add something. Try that. Why is that all weird? All right. Okay, it should be good now. What do I got here? All right, let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 622, the Golet Podcast. Golet is a dual-type ground ghost Pokemon introduced in Generation 5. It evolves into I Can't Tell You. Golet is a bipedal clay Pokemon constructed in the ancient past to protect the civilization of people and Pokemon. There are 2 different shades of blue throughout its appearance. It has a head with a cyan-colored fin on the top of its head and 2 bewitching yellow eyes. Around its spherical body are brown straps, which meet at a blue square with a yellow swirl in the center. It has 4 large stones, 2 on its arms and 2 acting as its feet. Golet burns energy inside itself in order to move. This energy causes Golet to release light through the holes near its arms and legs. However, no one has identified this energy. It's number 622. It's, what is this, 3 feet tall. And it's, oh my God, it's 3 feet tall and it's 202 pounds. That cannot be healthy. That's your Pokemon for today. Sorry for doing the podcast like out of nowhere. I know that you guys were expecting the 3:15 show, but I had a chance to do it now, so that's what I'm doing. So thanks to you that came in to say hi. Hello, Colma. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Jacob. Hello, Mr. Trays. Hello, ZX Billy. Hello, a video game guru and we lover and Son Goku and Santiago 64 or Santiago 316. And whoever else, the Super Sanchez, whoever else I didn't catch in the chat, thanks for joining us. So this week, obviously, hello Andy the Zombie. This week's been a little weird, obviously, because I'm doing work from the vacation house. But as far as news went, it didn't seem like there was like there was a lot to cover, but there wasn't a lot of top stories. There just wasn't too much big stuff to talk about. I think that's because, we're just coming out of E3 not that long ago, so all the big details are already out there, and now we're in like the holding pattern until we get more big information from Nintendo, whenever that may be. There's like a financial briefing coming up. It might be this week. It's either late this week or early next week. I'm not sure. But, who knows what's going to come from that. We'll at least get an update on what the Switch is selling as far as, well, let's look. March, April, May, June, July. We should have, March, April, May, June, and most of July's data in there. So it'll be nice to see where the Switch is at now, because we know it's selling like crazy, but we also know that supplies are really constrained. So yes, Paul, this will be a cat-free podcast. Video Game Guru says, hello, RMC. I think he meant ready. I'm getting ready for my sister's wedding. Well, congratulations. I personally do not like weddings because I don't like dressing up, and I also don't like dancing, and I also don't like eating fancy food, so weddings are like the antithesis of everything I dislike, but I hope you're into them, and I hope you have fun. Congratulations to your sister. How soon is the wedding that you're watching this right now? But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, there wasn't too much in the way of big news this week. I was going about my regular rounds. I've been working like usual and covering as I normally do. And there just wasn't a lot in the way of stories that I would mark as top stories. So we only have a few to talk about, but I can talk about what I've been playing and stuff like that. I'm sorry. Elliot says, are you going to play Splatfest? Epitome, not antithesis. Am I going to play the Splatfest? I don't know. I would like to. We're leaving, so we're leaving tomorrow, so I got to pack stuff up tonight and all that. So I don't know if I'm going to actually have time to play. I would like to, but I want to at least get on there. I mean, it's an important war. Ice cream between cake. I don't know which one I side with. I was talking about this on the site yesterday. I like cake. Hello, Joe. And I like ice cream. Hello, Mr. Ruiz. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. You're just stuck with me today, though. Yeah, I like cake and I like ice cream, but I'm not like crazy about either. But if I can have ice cream cake, that I love ice cream cake. That's what I get for my birthday. But that's not an option. So I just want to bring the two teams together, and I can't. So who am I supposed to fight for? What team am I supposed to sign for? Nintendo looks like, or at least Nintendo America looks like they're heavily on the ice cream side of things. But I feel it's a little unfair that ice cream cake doesn't get represented. Because I feel like that's the best of both worlds. We're just going to pretend that there's some kind of war going on here between cake and ice cream when we can have both. Cake from Dairy Queen or Carvel. I'm going Dairy Queen, Rachel, without a doubt. Dairy Queen is my favorite. I think Dairy Queen has better ice cream. I think Carvel might have better designs, but as far as taste goes, hands down, Dairy Queen. So I hope you guys get in there on that Splatfest and fight for the team you feel is more deserving of the win. If Mom Brain was playing, it would be ice cream all the way. No contest. I mean, she likes cake, but I think she would kill someone for ice cream. As far as I know, she's doing that right now. She said she was going to be out at the beach, but she could be killing someone for ice cream. All right, let's get into some of the news that did happen this week. So when it comes to ARMS, there's a new mode that's available, and this new mode allows you to control Headlock, the weirdo boss guy from the game. This comes from ARMS producer Kosuke Yabuki, the guy that kicked ass at E3, and no one else will want to actually go up against. He says, I can talk a little bit about it now. Max Brass is the main part of tomorrow's update, which is out now, obviously. But there's a new versus mode where you fight in between 2 or 3 players. There's a headlock mask players battle over. And when you get the mask, your own character can turn into headlock. If one player turns in a headlock, it'll be up to the other players to take him down. The headlock mode won't be available in 1 versus 1. It'll be available online and in every multiplayer mode. Every other, I guess I should say. So, yeah, Nintendo teased this on their Twitter account shortly before the update went live. So we knew the update was going to have Max Brass and some other tweaks in there, but we didn't know all the details. And they teased this on their Japanese Twitter account, or the ARMS specific Twitter account, where they showed off Helix, or it was one of the Helix clones. And he came across the mask, and the mask took him over, and people were beating him up. So it seems like these updates are going to have more to them than just, like the main feature that Nintendo says is going to be in there. Because we knew for a while now that, or at least since E3, that Max Brass was coming to the game. But now we know that there's other details in there as well. And obviously the update's out right now and it's free. So free content. And I believe Nintendo said all that content for the game that they release afterward is going to be free. Colma says, Japanese Splatfest was great. Yes, we shared some of Colma's footage from the Japanese Splatfest, which was what? Rock versus Pop? And I don't even remember who won. And I said, I think I'm more Pop. I think I'm a Pop person. Chesu says, I hope they don't nerf Min Min. Having a Ram or on her dragon arm is honestly a bit overpowered. But that's the loadout I run. So obviously I don't want my OP-ness taken away. OP-ness. I like guy says, yeah, I know this is over. Hello, Nintendo. I like guy says it's overpowered, but he doesn't want them to fix it because that's what he uses. ZX Billy says Pop Run 1. Colma says Rock 1. What am I supposed to do with that? We posted the information earlier today. I just honestly don't remember what it was. If somebody could get that information, I would appreciate it so I can get the correct details out there. I'm curious to see how many people are still playing ARMS, and I think that's really going to get hurt when Splatoon 2 comes out, because I imagine, ARMS is a new IP. Splatoon, obviously, is still somewhat of a new IP, but it's getting a sequel. But I think a lot more people are going to be jumping on Splatoon 2, and that's going to take the ARMS player base down. But I imagine Nintendo's going to try and combat that with more free updates as the game rolls on. I'm also curious to see where it lands in the NPD. I want to see if ARMS made the top 10 NPD. It'd be nice if it was in there in the top 10. I certainly feel like it deserves a spot in the top 10. I can't imagine it would be first place. It's a new IP, and it doesn't tickle everybody's fancy, and it big focus on motion controls. So, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't make number 1, but hopefully somewhere in the top 10. Let's see what's going on here. Colma says, Oh, wait. Yeah, Pop won. Ha. No, yeah, it was Rock. Team Rock wins Splatfest in Japan. There you go. That's your information. It was no NPD yet. I'm sorry. I have someone from the podcast texting me. It's PC. PC's texting me because she's at some comic / comic something fest. I don't know what it is. Tara Strong is there. I know that. But it's like, I think it's in Raleigh. If anybody wants to, what the hell is going on there? We Lover says, I will wait until they drop the price on ARMS, which won't be for a while. Yeah, I don't know when they're going to drop the price. If they drop the price, your best bet's probably going to be a used copy, of which I'm sure there are already some. I'll never not be surprised with how quickly people trade games in. There will be a game that comes out, and then that next day after the launch, people are already trading it in. So that's pretty crazy. PC sent me a text, and she met Justin Roiland, of Rick and Morty fame. She's a big fan. I'm a big fan too. I will have to talk to her about that later, as much as I would like to text her right now. But obviously I can't do two things at once because I'm trying to right now, and I'm failing. North America. This week's digital downloads. What did North America get? We got a Metopia casting call demo. So, you know all about Metopia, what it is and everything like that. But if you were on the fence about actually buying it, you could grab the Metopia demo and find out if it tickles your fancy enough to go with the full game. I don't know how much content there is in the full game. Like, I don't know how many hours you're going to get out of it. It seems like it'd be something that was like 20 hours of content or something like that. But then again, depending on, the Miis that you have on there, you might want to play with different Miis and stuff like that. Because like I've said in the past, I think the Miis are the real fun of the game. I think seeing your friends in there, our friends and family or whatever, celebrities, is going to make it really fun. So that stuff can be randomized as you're going through. It might add to the longevity of the title. If you're not into Metopia, you can get Pikmin. The Hey Pikmin demo is out right now. That launches on July 28th, so not that far away. But again, I know a lot of people, when they saw that game, were like, this game, I don't want a side-scroller Pikmin. But like I've said from my impressions multiple times, I really, really, really liked the Hey Pikmin content that I played. I was really into it. I thought it was very well done. I thought it captured the atmosphere of Hey Pikmin of the Pikmin universe perfectly. So I'm all about it. So if you're on the fence, or if you didn't think it was going to be any good, or if you've been hearing me talk about it and you're like, maybe, now you can try the demo. I don't know how many levels the demo has. If it's like what I played, then it'd be 3 levels. But that is free on the 3DS eShop right now. Nintendo also wants you to know that they have a special sale on Castlevania games going on right now, because Castlevania, the Netflix series, is available and is getting some very positive buzz from people. So Nintendo's piggybacking on that, as well as Konami, obviously, by putting on sale Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, and Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. So if you want to get those games at a discounted price, if you haven't already, then you can grab those right now. Paul says, started playing the Hey Pikmin demo, and so far I'm really liking it. Looks gorgeous too. Tapping to throw feels good. Yeah, I thought everything about it felt really good. Like everything about it. I didn't have any complaints at all. My only complaint was I wanted to play more and I couldn't. My Nintendo has new rewards. You can get some ARMS wallpapers, and they're available to celebrate the first DLC release for ARMS. So you can get Springman, Min Min, and just an ARMS black wallpaper. On 3DS, you can get a theme. You can get the Hey Pikmin Adventure Together theme, which we covered from Japan shortly ago. Shortly. I'm trying to think of something that makes sense. We covered a while back. Also new this week is Fatal Fury Special, which is on the Switch. I and Me on the Switch. Demambo on the Switch, which I'm going to talk to you guys about later. Death Squared on the Switch, which was the last episode of Parents Play. Not, the final episode. It was just the last one that we did, because we've been so busy doing other stuff, and E3 was going on and getting ready for a family vacation, so we couldn't do one last night because we're all here, obviously. But there's another one coming. Levels Plus is available on the Switch. 3DS got As Divine Cross, Cursed Castilla, which is the Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts style game that's available. Now remember, that's coming out, or that's out on 3DS right now. Noxic, I'm talking about the 3DS right now. There's your 3DS love. So you can get this on 3DS now, or you can wait because it's coming out on Switch as well. Now, I don't think the Switch version has a release date, but it shouldn't be too far off. So if you're more interested in playing that game on the TV, you can wait and do that. Bit Dungeon Plus is available on the 3DS eShop, and Box Up is on the Wii U. Nintendo says he would play as me in ARMS. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but I can guarantee if it did, you would be punching with my beard. I mean, that just makes total sense. Yeah, Colm was exactly right. If I had any chance of being in ARMS, ARMS would have to be made by an indie developer. The closest I'm ever going to get, well, I can't tell that story. I can tell this story. The closest I've ever gotten to being in a Nintendo game is when this is a long time ago, I went to one of Nintendo's offices. I don't remember where. Maybe the Wii wasn't even out yet, but they had a whole bunch of press there, and people at Nintendo had gone through and made Miis for press that were attending, and they made a Mii for me, and I apologized for the beard not being long enough. Yeah, I think I've told this story that I was going to be in Scribblenauts, the original Scribblenauts, which was just Fifth Cell at the time. I don't think Warner Brothers was publishing then. I don't remember who. Maybe it was THQ. That sounds about right. But something happened because Fifth Cell put in a number of like press people and stuff like that, and you could type in "Raw Me Cowboy" or my name and get me in the game. But then I think Fifth Cell was doing it on their own, and THQ didn't know, and then information got out, and THQ told them they had to remove it, and it was like really close to launch too. I was like this close to being in the Scribblenauts game, the original DS one, but it wasn't meant to be. It was so close that when I was at E3 that year, I actually got to play as myself in that game. Like it was in there, ready to go. And then my heart was broken. GoNintendo RPG, G-Mansar says, yeah, somebody's got to make it on RPG Maker Fez. Go ahead and get. I want to play that. I just haven't had the time, and then I've read some stuff that's made me nervous about it. Like some people are saying how complicated it is, and like I already suck at RPGs, so I shouldn't think that I'd be able to make my own RPG. But I want to try it, and then I read these hands-on impressions, and people are like, "Oh, it's really complicated. You got to put a lot of time into it." So now I'm nervous. I don't want to like buy it and not be able to use it. I'd like to think if I could do WarioWare DIY, I could handle an RPG Maker, but I don't know. In Japan, the original Nintendo DS, or I'm sorry, the original Nintendo 3DS and the new 3DS have been discontinued. And I believe that's the case in Europe as well. But North America gave like a weird answer about it. So in Japan, Nintendo has discontinued the original Nintendo 3DS and the new 3DS. So that's, the smaller one. But the new 3DS XL continues on in Japan. And then obviously there's the new 2DS XL as well. In Europe, they said it's the same thing. And then in North America, they were asked like, hey, did you cancel the new 3DS here? And they're like, no, everything's the same here, except we didn't ever have like a full run. It was like a specialty run, or like it was available in limited quantities. So they're saying like, it wasn't ever made to be produced over and over again in the States. They just put out a limited amount, and that was that, which they didn't really tell us, I don't believe, at the time. We just thought like they were selling it. So they didn't sell it, and now I guess whatever's out there is all you're going to be able to get, because there wasn't a follow-up question on like, are you going to make more of them and bring them here? Because it certainly doesn't seem like that. It seems like limited quantities, and that was it. So whatever's out there is my guess. I don't think Nintendo of America is going to be like, yeah, we'll make more of those, because they're focused on a new 2DS XL right now. And if you've been paying attention to the hands-on impressions, myself and other people, it's getting really positive impressions. That is just a really nice version of the 3DS. It's the only negative I can really come up with is that it doesn't have the 3D feature, which doesn't hurt games. It's nice to see games in 3D, but it's not like there's any games that are like, you need to use the 3D feature to play this portion of the game. That's not how it happens. So I do miss the 3D, and having played a demo of Metroid Samus Returns, I can tell you that the 3D in that game was like fantastic. The best implementation of 3D in a 3DS game so far. At least that's how I feel. And seeing it like that was super impressive. But I've made the new 2DS XL my go-to system. That's my 3DS now. That's what I'm playing on. So I'm not going to have the experience of the 3D for Metroid Samus Returns, but I know some people aren't into that. They want the 3D there, and that's perfectly fine. That's why there's different versions, so you can pick and choose between what you want. So it's not like you have to pick it, but hands-on impressions have been really good. The Destructo94 says 2 down, 4 more to go. Yeah, eventually there will be a time where all the systems are gone. No more 3DSs will be sold, and we'll be playing the, I have no idea what. Make up your own 3DS successor name right now. Europe. What did Europe get on the Wii, or yeah, the Wii U, the Switch, and the 3DS this week? Yes, Coleman says 3D Land had that one room where you couldn't see the platform unless you had 3D turned on. I remember playing that with 3D on and with 3D off, and I played it off first just to see if I could do it, and I did it without the 3D. 3D made it easier without a doubt, but yeah, you didn't need it to play. The Mambo is available on Switch, as is Bulb Boy and Cars 3 Driven to Win. So that took a little bit longer to get to Europe than it did North America. And if you're looking for a retail version, at least in the UK, I don't know if it's all over Europe, but at least in the UK, that is a game exclusive. So if you want Cars 3 Driven to Win on the Switch and you want the physical copy, you got to go through Game, either online or go to one of their locations. Fatal Fury Special is available on the Switch, as is Death Squared. I really hope people pay attention to Death Squared because that is an awesome game. Like the developers were saying, you know, developers say stuff like, we really feel like this game was made for the whatever Nintendo system, you know, a couple months after it comes out on other platforms. And you're like, not really. But SMG Studio is like, we really feel Death Squared is made for the Switch. It's perfect for this. The game is perfect for the system. And I agree. It really feels like this is a Switch game just because of the local co-op and being able to split up Joy-Cons and stuff like that. It's perfect. It's a puzzle platformer, I guess you call it. Not really platformer because you're not jumping, but you're certainly climbing on top of other players and using them to get higher and stuff like that. Hello, Steister. So it's an awesome game. It's absolutely fantastic. Really fun. Really unique puzzles. It changes every level. Like you get some kind of new idea or new mechanic, and you know there's a couple baseline mechanics that follow through throughout all the levels. But each level just feels really fresh and has a new set of rules and really makes you think. And then when you bring that into actual multiplayer, especially if you're doing it with 4 people, you got to have a group that's ready to cooperate and really think about what they're doing, because the puzzles aren't like zip, zip, and you're done. There's a lot of thinking that needs to go on and a lot of cooperation between all players to make it happen. So as long as you got the right group of people, it's an absolutely awesome game. I really highly recommend it. Levels Plus is available on the Switch. Now, I've seen a lot of footage of this, but I haven't really checked it out. I haven't checked it out myself. I'm going to read it right now. Levels Plus is an addictive puzzle game that you want to challenge over and over again. The rule is simple. Slide and match panels with the same color and number to level up. The blue panel is your ally. It will get stronger as you level up. The red panel is your enemy, and it will get in your way. Level up your blue panels to defeat your foe. The yellow panel is your treasure. Level it up to increase its wealth. It looks simple, but you need to use your brain. Well, it is certainly more I thought it was just watching the footage. That sounds kind of interesting. I'm a sucker for puzzle games, any kind of puzzle game. Like, I don't care how it looks or anything like that. I just love puzzle games because they're really good for, like, pick up and play. You do a couple levels and then you put them down and got some time. It's not like you sit down and you're like, all right, I know I'm going to be here for an hour and a half before I can like get some stuff done. Puzzle games are just good for pick up and play. So, and the Switch is obviously good for that as well. So I'm down with that. Special offer on Puyo Puyo Tetris, which I have a lot to talk about later. Actually, they also got the Metopia casting call demo. There's As Divine Cross on 3DS, Cursed Castilla on 3DS. Special offers on a whole bunch of stuff. Sadly, Mom Brain isn't here. I'll fill her in later on the 3DS theme shop, which was updated with Hello Kitty is fashionable theme. Hello Kitty bikes and Hello Kitty bikes in a pink world theme. Hello Kitty is a robot theme. Hello Kitty enjoys tea theme. Boy, Hello Kitty's just like us. She does everything we like to do. Fairy Tale Princess theme. I'm sorry, Fairy Tale Princesses theme. It's Astoria, Rose, and Joy. Summer at Regal Academy theme. Rose, Grandma, and what? Rose, Grandma, Cinderella, and Gigi theme. The Go-Go Pig soccer theme. What the hell's going on in Europe? I don't know. Oh, hi.
Hi.
I don't know any of these things. Mom Brain, perfect timing.
Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty is fashionable theme. Hello Kitty bikes in a pink world theme. And Hello Kitty is a robot theme. But the best one, Hello Kitty enjoys tea theme.
I enjoy tea.
I know. You and Hello Kitty, one and the same. The Go-Go Pig pink love theme. Hoppy and Hubble family theme. Hoppy and Hubble jokes theme. Hoppy and Hubble friends theme. Available on the Wii U eShop is Cars 3 Driven to Win. Devil's Crush, the old pinball game. If you haven't played Devil's Crush,
That's one of your favorite games, isn't it?
Which one do I like? Yeah, I like Devil. No, yeah, there is. I like Devil's Crush better. I think you're right, but I also like Alien Crush. If you haven't played those games, they're available on the Wii U Virtual Console now. I know they're pinball, and you think like maybe pinball is boring, but they're so over the top pinball. It's great. Check them out. And then some special. Wait, is that it? Yeah, and then some special offers. That was the beach.
Beach was lovely.
Did you go in the ocean?
Of course.
Oh, that's great.
Down by the pool now.
You're like super hot.
Well, I mean,
Get away from me.
it's the sun.
Somebody was sad that the podcast doesn't have Hello Kitty today, or have Comanche today.
Well, he's at home.
We also have information on Nintendo's Comic-Con. You don't have to stay here. Like, go enjoy the beach.
Thought I'd come and say hello.
Oh, thanks. That's very nice of you.
Everyone's looking for you. We're gonna roast up some weenies.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks for coming. See y'all later. As far as Comic-Con goes, we have details on Comic-Con. Nintendo's going to be there, and they've detailed their booth for Comic-Con. If you don't know, Comic-Con's going on between July 20th and July 23rd. Nintendo says they have a whole bunch of fun activities. So let me get this right. In the San Diego Marriott Marquis and Marina Hotel, you'll be able... It seems like Super Mario Odyssey is going to be in a weird spot. You can go play Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah, all right. So I guess it's going to be at the booth, too. But the San Diego ballroom of the Marriott Marquis and Marina will be transformed into a colorful Nintendo paradise, perfect for taking amazing photos and playing some great games, blah, 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 blah. So you'll also be able to play Splatoon 2, Pokken Tournament DX, as well as the first hands-on in North America of Flip Wars, which is already available in Europe. So you can check that out there. That comes out August 10th, by the way. They just kind of snuck that in there. They were like, hey, go play Flip Wars out August 10th. My understanding is that game isn't too hot. I haven't played it myself, but I don't believe it's going to be that. I don't believe it's that good, so just be careful. There's no demo as far as I know. What else are they going to have here? You know, all the silly events that Nintendo usually does. There's going to be tournaments. There's going to be an ARMS tournament. There's going to be a Pokken Tournament DX, and they have the Play Nintendo Challenge, which is open at 10 a.m. in the morning. So you can check out all different games there. So here's the full list of games that you'll be able to play. Super Mario Odyssey, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe 1-2 Switch, ARMS, Splatoon 2, Pokken Tournament DX, EA Sports FIFA 18, Super Bomberman R, Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challengers, Minecraft on Switch, Hey Pikmin, Miitopia, Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Moon, Super Mario Maker for 3DS, and Super Smash Brothers for 3DS. I like how they're throwing in Smash Brothers in there because they know, you know, no matter what, people will play that. You'll be able to take part in some extra fresh Splatoon 2 activities. There will be a Splatoon 2 photo booth set up where you can take eye-catching photos with the replicas of Splatoon 2 weapons. There will be 2 professional Splatoon 2 cosplayers there as well, so you can get your pictures with them. So that's your Comic-Con details. Comic-Con starts soon. I've never been to a Comic-Con. I would like to go to a Comic-Con, maybe one day, but it's just too expensive. All right. We also have yet another conference. This is all right. So you remember a while ago, this is a long time ago, Nintendo said they had a Kirby game in development for the GameCube, and we had seen some footage of it. And as each year went by, We never saw it. We never saw it. Then the Wii came out. Never saw it. Never saw it. But they kept saying it's coming out. It's coming out. It was on their like their internal list of titles that were in the works, and it always said TBA for the Kirby game. And eventually it did come out on the Wii, but it was something like 8 years later or something like that. This is what the Quality of Life project is turning into. Nintendo just keeps telling us that they're working on it and it's coming out. So in their latest annual report, they make a point to say, moreover, we are working on the development of a new product that improves people's quality of life in enjoyable ways. Our aim is to enable consumers to make daily efforts to improve their quality of life in a fun manner by making sleep and fatigue status visible and offering various services based on this information. So they're saying it's still coming. Now, I think like the last like expanded comment we had on that came from Iwata when he was still alive, and he said they were working on it and they couldn't get it to a level where they were happy with it. So they were continuing to tweak things and trying different stuff. So they didn't want to release it until they got it to that point. So it seems like that, that was years ago and they're still doing it, but they're saying it's coming out. Vin Loria has the first comment, and they say, this is honestly the happiest that any bit of news has made me today. I did a genuine fist pump when I read it. It's a sign that my Nintendo isn't dead. His Nintendo, not my Nintendo, the service. I don't know what he feels about like Nintendo as far as what they're doing that he doesn't enjoy, but it's on. I guess he's saying like the weird Nintendo is still around. I still think weird Nintendo is around, definitely, but we heard recently from an inside source, not Nintendo themselves, they were saying that Nintendo is kind of shying away from the weirder games and focusing on some of the bigger, more expansive titles just because they feel like that's a direction they need to head into. So maybe that's why this guy was happy about that news. As far as Zelda Symphony of the Goddesses go, that's been touring for 4 years now, I think. It's the Zelda Symphony that brings together all types of orchestrations for Zelda music across the years. And the producer of it, Jason Michael Paul, just did an interview with our friends over at Vooks, and they asked him what else he would like to do. So he's been doing Zelda for quite some time, but what else would he like to do? And he specifically says, I've already presented these ideas for years and years now, so hopefully I'll be able to get my shot to do that, and hopefully I've done the Legend of Zelda franchise justice enough to be handed the torch to be able to do that, because the idea of creating a Nintendo All-Star concert is definitely something I would love to do. It would basically be all of Nintendo's IP being presented all in one concert. It would be phenomenal. So he doesn't want to do just Zelda. He wants to do all Nintendo franchises. So they get some Mario and some Zelda and some Splatoon and Kirby and Kid Icarus and whatever else. Throw them all in there. I think that would make for an awesome concert. There's certainly enough music to pull from. I mean, they're filling a whole Zelda show. Zelda alone has a ton of music. So to imagine a show where they put all Nintendo franchises together. And that would be great for rotation and give you a good excuse to see it every year, because each year they could bring in all new songs from same franchises. One year you might get Super Mario Galaxy music, and one year you'll get Super Mario Sunshine music and stuff like that. So I think that's an awesome idea. And like he said, hopefully he's proven to Nintendo that he should be able to head something like this up. So hopefully they approve his idea. We know Nintendo has said that they're famously stubborn when it comes to approving ideas, but they're trying to change that. And we've seen some stuff where that is true. So we'll cross our fingers, because I think that would be an awesome idea. Hello, Swedish Galaxy 94. Link Triforce, like, glad you could. Rhino 47 says, yes, 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 yes. Yeah, I don't think there's any Nintendo fan that wouldn't be down for that idea. And now that the ideas of those kind of concerts have definitely spread in the last, I don't know, like 8 to 10 years, they're certainly more popular now. I think Nintendo should get on it. I think they should let him do this. Like he said, he's proven that he knows what he's doing. So the only hard part is figuring out what you're actually going to play for like the first year of shows, because there's so much to pick from. Nintendo Dream, the Japanese magazine, just sat down with the producers of Fire Emblem Warriors. So we're hearing from Yosuke Hayashi and Hiroya Usada, and he's talking about the development of the game, because pretty much it started up development towards the end of Hyrule Warriors when that was coming out. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. So they talked to him about how this project came to be, and surprisingly, it seems like the project was the secret of one producer, and they hadn't really told anybody else on the team that the game was even being considered. So Mr. Hayashi took it to Nintendo and proposed the idea to them. And he says it was a top secret mission, so nobody else was in on it. It was just an idea that he had, and he had other developers that he knew he wanted to work on it, blah, 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 blah. But it was his top secret project. He took it to Nintendo. The day finally came when he could propose it to them. And they said, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. So then he went back to his team and he's like, hey, guess what? We're doing a new game, and it's Fire Emblem. So it kind of sprung, you know, there were a couple inner circle people that knew about it, but by and large, it was a big surprise to them. So it came together. And they're making it happen. I don't see, like, I don't really like the Warrior. I don't dislike the Warriors games, but they're not my favorite. And I like Fire Emblem games a lot, but I'm so, like, I have so little knowledge of the franchise in general, you know, which is part because it took so long to get here, and part just because I haven't had the time to, like, dive deep into the franchise's history and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm going to play the game, obviously, and I'm sure I'll have fun, but I feel like fans of the franchise, both of them, will be more into it and get more out of it than I would. So I don't know. I might turn to Nintendo if he's willing to do a review for that, because I know he would be able to address it on a deeper level than I could. But I could just go in there and have stupid fun. Al's Gaming Stuff says, I hate the Muso games. Yeah, I know a lot of people aren't into them, and I feel they're repetitive. But obviously, there must be some market for them here, because Zelda did well enough for them to go to Fire Emblem. Now, obviously, Zelda is a bigger franchise than Fire Emblem. But the thing is Fire Emblem has come up in recent years here. Are there enough Fire Emblem fans to warrant this spinoff? And will it do well? And is it going to do well because fans want it, or is it going to do well because it's earlier on in the Switch's lifespan, which is when, you know, consumers are more likely to buy stuff the earlier years of a system's life? And how's the 3DS one going to do? More importantly, how's the 3DS one going to play? We haven't seen anything for it. Like, we haven't seen any footage of it. You know, Hyrule Warriors Legends was on 3DS, and it ran better on some versions of the 3DS than others, but it still, you know, was a far cry from what the Wii U version did. So I don't know. What are they going to do to really maximize that? Or is it going to be the same situation again? I believe is that new 3DS only, and new 3DS XL and new 2DS XL? I could be wrong, but I thought that's what they said. Force says, I love Hyrule Warriors, but not into the Warriors series in general, and I've never played a Fire Emblem game, so I'm not too interested in Fire Emblem Warriors. But I'd love a Hyrule Warriors sequel. Well, I think that says it all right there. I mean, they were saying they wanted Hyrule Warriors to sell over 1 million, and it did. So I guess the chances of a sequel are pretty damn good. I just don't, you know, we had Hyrule Warriors, and they're going to do Fire Emblem Warriors, and what, next year they're going to do Hyrule Warriors 2. I don't know. It might be a little overload for Warriors franchise as far as the States goes. Swedish Galaxy says it is not a new 3DS exclusive. So that means it's going to be running a bit choppy on the older versions of the 3DS, unfortunately, but that's the way these things go. So believe it or not, that's all your top stories for this week. Like I said, there was lots of news to cover, but no, like usual, at least, you know, a couple a day we get some big stories, but that wasn't really the case this week. So we're definitely in the lull after E3 this year, but that's going to change. And I know there's rumors of another Nintendo Direct coming up soon. I've seen all those posts. I've just refrained from posting about that on GoNintendo because I don't know if that's the case or not. Oh, now we're saying, oh, it is exclusive. So I was right. Fire Emblem Warriors is a new 3DS exclusive. It's okay, Swedish Galaxy. We all make mistakes. So I guess they just couldn't make the original 3DS handle it, or they decided after the performance of Hyrule Warriors Legends on the 3DS and the complaints that people had, they're like, well, we're going to keep it off that one. And obviously the other thing is they want the focus to be on the Switch version. So they want people to buy the 3DS or the new 3DS version, but the bigger focus is on the Switch one, obviously, because that's when they've been showing at all events, and we haven't even seen what the 3DS version, new 3DS version, can do yet. So, but anyway, let me talk about what I've been playing. So I played Demambo, which came out on the eShop for Switch this past week. And Demambo, I've heard a lot about it as far as like it's it's kind of like Smash Brothers. And so I've been playing single player content, so I haven't had the multiplayer experience yet. But as far as single player goes, I can see where people are getting the single player or the Smash Brothers references from, because you're basically different characters that try and knock each other into a pit or off the side of the screen, and you can break the stages to make that happen too. Some have pits, some have walls you have to break down, stuff like that. But I don't know how I feel about it. I really like the idea of it, and I don't like how the characters control. Like, I feel like they're very out of control. I feel like they just go nuts. Like, they're too fast. They move around too quickly. Now, I don't know if that's something that can change in between characters or you can change settings, but it feels like way too sensitive and way too floaty to me. Now, with that said, I'm having a lot of fun with the single player because it's just basically challenges, kind of like challenges you see in Smash Brothers. They had like break the targets and stuff like that. This is like collect all the things or defeat all the enemies or reach the exit, stuff like that. And, it gets progressively harder. You have a certain amount of lives to make it through each set of challenges. And I'm on the hardest difficulty now, so I haven't started it yet, but I cleared the other ones. I cleared very easy, normal. I don't know if it's very easy, normal, or if there's a different setup in there. But I haven't done hard yet. I'm going to try that out. But I do like it. It's just I wish the characters controlled better. But when you come to multiplayer, maybe the multiplayer would be better because it'll be a lot more frantic and you're playing with multiple characters and they're all jumping around and doing different things all at the same time. So that might be more interesting. But I just like it. It's a weird game and it's got a really unique vibe to it. It's got a really it's got its own personality, without a doubt. I can't think of anything else I've played that feels quite like it as far as presentation goes. Just wacky and strange, which I obviously really dig, which you've heard about before. So I'm going to put more time into it. I obviously need to try out the multiplayer because we have a lot of friends who are into Smash Brothers. So I'm going to sell it to them like that. I'll be like, hey, listen, we hear that Smash Brothers fans are really into this one. So maybe you guys will try it out. Maybe it'll be a blast. I don't know. Maybe the control issues will not be an issue when I play in multiplayer. But I need a chance to give that a try. And I'm not around friends this week, so I can't do that. But this coming week, I'm definitely going to do that. Hello, SD Sick Hero. Thanks for joining us. What else did I play? I've been playing more Class, which I really like. It's just, again, it's another great game for pick up and play. You could pick up one stage and give it a few runs and then take a break and come back to it later, or you could pour like a couple hours into just a handful of stages, 3 or 4 stages, because I'm trying to get the platinum in each stage. I don't want the gold. I want the platinum in each stage because I feel like that's the point of this kind of game. If you're just going through to beat the level, you're missing the whole point of the game. I mean, if you're doing that and you're having fun, that's fine. But the point is to get the high score and collect the medals. So I'm going for platinum in each one, and you have to perfectly fine-tune your run every single time. You know, everything has to be mapped out exactly, and you have to maximize where you're shooting at the stars at enemy groups to get the biggest multiplier and stuff like that. So as you play through, like, you could perfect a run but still not get the platinum. And you're like, all right, so I have to look at this a different way to figure out how I can hit more enemies with a bigger shot to get more points. So you analyze each section and you look at it and say, oh, maybe instead of spitting out an enemy here, I could walk a few feet further and gather up all these guys and do it there, and that'll get you more points. So I like that. It's not a type of game that I usually play, but I was interested in the trailer, so I downloaded it, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's got a ton of replay value. Like I said, as long as you're playing it with, I believe, what is the intention of the developers, you should get a lot out of it. But if you're just running to, like, if you're playing like a regular Kirby game and you're just going through to get to the end of the level, then you're going to be done with it really quick. Well, we played a lot of Puyo Puyo Tetris this week just because my family is super into it. So there's been tons of tournaments with that going on. It's going to be at the top of my Switch most played list this month, without a doubt, because we've been pouring tons and tons of time into it. But we've been getting more into the Switch mode. So mostly we've been playing Tetris mode, but recently in the last few days we've gotten into the Switch mode where you're playing Tetris and Puyo Puyo. So that mixes the two modes together. You have to play both types of games, whether you want to or not. You get like 25 seconds in Tetris, and then it switches over, and then it switches back, and you do that throughout the whole game. And any of the garbage that you get rid of in either game, Puyo Puyo or Tetris, goes over to the other, depending on your timing. So if you clear a whole bunch of lines in Tetris right at the last second of the Tetris stage, and then it switches over, those gray Puyo Puyo drops will blot down on that other stage and make it harder for you to play. It's super addictive. It's super challenging. It's really a lot of fun. Yeah, you know, it's Tetris. Worst comes to worst, if you're not into the other game mode, you get Tetris. And, you know, Tetris has been around a million years, so you should really like that. You know, it's hard to find somebody who's not into Tetris in some way. But when you throw in the multiplayer aspect, it makes it that much more interesting. And then on top of that, there's online play, which I haven't even done yet. I haven't even touched online play because we've been doing so much local multiplayer. I just like the local multiplayer aspect. I'm more of a local multiplayer person in general. Then on top of that, yes, I have been playing Splatoon 2. I can't talk about stuff. I'm not allowed to talk about stuff, so I don't want to screw up the embargo. If you are on our YouTube channel, you could see that I did the footage of Hero Mode in Splatoon 2, and I talked about my experience with it as far as what I was allowed to say. And I keep spoilers out of it unless you don't want to see what the first level is, because I was not allowed to show. You're not, according to the embargo, you're not allowed to show a full level. So I showed a good chunk of the first level. If you consider that spoiler, then don't watch the video. But I wanted to just show the beginning because I didn't want to spoil the content later on for you guys. But I am really enjoying it. I wish I could talk to you about other things. I can't. I think, when is the review embargo up? I don't know. It's next week. I just don't remember what day. It might be Tuesday. I could be wrong. It might be later than that. But yeah, I'm not allowed to say certain things about it. So rather than, you know, dance around what I am and am not allowed to say, I can just tell you that I'm playing it. I am enjoying it, and you guys are going to play it. What is it, today? At the same? Is it already going on? I don't remember when it starts. The Splatfest for ice cream versus cake. I should have asked Mom Brain about that when she was here. But yeah, no, not now. You can get in on that and try. I mean, if you played the first Splatoon, I would imagine you know what's going on with the second one, and you'll know what you're getting into when it comes to online. But I'm telling you, that salmon run mode is where it's at. That is going to be such a 3 to 7 p.m. Pacific time. Thanks, Colma. So 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got some time. You got to wait some time before you can get in there. But yeah, that salmon run mode is such a blast. I'm really looking forward to playing that with friends, especially because you have the difficulty slider. So when we played, difficulty was very low, and we inched it up, but you can see just how much more challenging it got. And you can multiply that slider, so you can get an insane amount of difficulty in there. It's just, you got to have the right type of people to play. And then on top of all that, we need to try out the online voice chat. Like, that's going to be a big aspect of it. When it comes to Salmon Run, I would much rather play local multiplayer, but I know the online multiplayer is going to be good for that mode as well. The only thing that really upsets me is that you cannot choose that mode whenever you want. It's the same as the other Splatoon stuff. Like, there's a calendar, and I believe it's most of the days, like 6 out of 7 days you can play at select times, that is. But that's the type of mode where I only want to play it with friends I know in real life, and I just want to be able to go in there and jump on and it'd be like, hey, let's go play Salmon Run. We can only play it from this time, or, oh, we can't play it today because it's not available. That kind of stuff annoys me. Hello, Flood. Local, you can. Yes, SD Secret. That's why I'm not worried about local stuff, because I know locally you can play it all that you want. But for me, like, you know, I'm definitely going to play it local without a doubt. But for me, I like to play on the TV. And if we're doing local multiplayer, I know not everybody's going to be able to play on the TV. And there's some people who only, some of my friends anyway, who only use their Switch on TV. They aren't interested in handheld mode. So I don't think they're going to be too eager to do that. But perhaps I can convince them. We don't have music today because there's no music, because it's just me and Mom Brain's not here. Well, you don't have music. No. See, she doesn't have music. So we can't do that. I think that that's about it, really. I can't think of anything else I played. I can't think of anything else I need to talk about. I played some more Mighty Gunvolt Burst this week just because I'm trying to go through and get all the... Hello, Waluigi. I'm trying to get all the... each level. I want to get all the fruit in each level, and I want to get all the power-ups that you can get at the end of the level. Because at the end of the level, you get to choose between, like, do you want more CP points so you can customize your character, or do you want a new ability, like an ability that the boss character gives you? You don't automatically get it. You pick and choose. So you can, like, not take any of the weapons from bosses at all and just collect the CP, and then you can just, like, really customize Gunvolt or Beck, whoever you're playing as, with like how far the shots go, what the timing is, how many you can shoot at once, how the shots fly, like are they a spread shot or something like that. So all different kinds of stuff. And Colma says Mom Brain disappoints us once again. So there's a lot of customization in there, and plus there's stickers to get. The game is fun enough for me to go back in and collect all that stuff just because I want to. You're in trouble, Colma. You got something to say?
I don't really appreciate that.
No. You chose the beach over Colma.
It was a good decision.
Oh, man.
I don't mean any disrespect, but
No, I think you do.
I only get to the beach once a year.
Oh, yeah, Al, I've been playing that too. I forgot. I've been playing the Trial of the Sword as well in Breath of the Wild. Now, I've been trying so hard to replicate that glitch that one guy had where he wandered out and was outside the boundaries of that trial and like was taking the pictures of all the weird scenery. I've been trying so hard to replicate that, and I cannot. I've been following a Reddit thread where other people are trying to do it, and they can't either. I cannot find any spot where I can fly out of that level. I've tried. There's 2 platforms in there that are floating from balloons. I've tried manipulating the platforms. I've tried using metal things to launch myself in the air. Like, I can't make it happen, and I want to get out there and get footage of that so bad. But I suck at that stuff, which is why I reached out to Name of Austin, and I was like, hey, this is like what you do. And he's got so much more patience when it comes to stuff like that because, you know, he is the egg buster. He knows how to do that stuff, or at least he's so dedicated that it makes it happen. I cannot make it happen. So I talked to him about it, and I believe he said he was going to try it, but the problem is, if you've been following with his egg buster episodes, hello, Fireflame, you know that his save file is kind of screwed up. So if he wants to give that a try again, he'll have to start a completely new save file and go all the way through, which is, you know, takes a little bit of time. So I don't know if he's really rushing in to do that. He is the egg buster. You're right, SD Sekiro. So I think he's going to try it at some point. I don't want to, I don't want to lock him into it, but he's obviously interested. He's been keeping up on it. He saw the footage. He knows about it. So he wants to do it. And then on top of that, I wish we could do that episode together. I would love to sit down with him just for hours and try to replicate that glitch, but I don't think it's going to happen. All right, my friends, I'm pretty sure that's today's episode. There's not going to be any after show because I got to clean up. People are here. I got to go. But I know the show is at a random time. I know it's a little shorter than usual because of the type of week that we had, but thanks for, and Mom Brain doesn't have music, so.
Who's gonna listen?
To music?
I mean,
Me.
You?
Me, yeah.
Forget it. It's dumb.
All right, well, you heard it. There you go. It's dumb. So, yeah, that's this week's episode. Next week, we'll have a regular episode. You going to do music then, Mom Brain?
I feel like it.
All right, well, cross your fingers. But for those of you who joined me on this random show out of nowhere, I hope it was okay. I hope you appreciated it and had some fun. Now, remember, get out there on your Switch tonight and play some Splatoon. Have some fun. That's it. Take it easy. We'll see you same time next week. Goodbye, everybody.